Alright. What the heck is going on, everybody? We've got a highlight series here. It is the finals from the ESL Weekly Cup, number 216. $400, those valuable World Championship points on the line. And Clem in the top left side of the map going for a barracks and a gas. He's already won Atlanta, so Clem already has his spot locked in. But down in the bottom right side, REYNOR does not, representing Basilisk and going for the 15 hatchery into 15 pool to start the series on hard lead. We'll see what build orders REYNOR has in store, because Clem, he's been on a roll recently, and just playing stock standard Zerg vs Terran or Terran vs Zerg is pretty much the name of the game for him. He's always going for just lots and lots of economy, third command center, into that biomine multi-prong. I do wonder, on a map like hard lead, does he maybe think about going siege tanks? But honestly, I don't think so. I think on Solaris, Clem plays siege tanks. He might do it on Hecate. But even there, he'd probably play mines. I honestly don't know if there's a map besides Solaris where Clem goes siege tanks. He's almost always playing Widow Mines these days, and I think that's his most powerful style. I think he's able to explode economically and just kind of get into a really good position, get the Widow Mines, keeping the Zerg pinned back on two sides, and his multi-prong with that hits hard and fast. 3 workers on gas already, so REYNOR is indeed planning to get a pretty quick ling speed, pulling off minerals in order to do that. It's not the fastest ling speed, but won't be too slow. Doesn't want to be open to a Hellion run by as the Marine comes out factory. And no second gas tells us, yep, it's a standard 3 command center opening for Clem. I like that drone preemptively moving out of the way there. Massive moves. Oh, thank you, Purple Neo, for the massive bits. Appreciate the love, my friend. I do apologize for my voice, guys. I am a little bit sick, but if I don't cast these games today, I'm flying off tomorrow to America, so for a few days for a little bit of a secret consulting trip, so got to be there for a few days. And I figured, man, there's so many good games to cast, and there's going to be so many more by the time I get back that I really want to cast these and see if we can do them some justice and show you guys some good matches before, of course, disappearing for most of the next week. 4 queens on the way as well as ling speed. Very late third base for REYNOR. Not the biggest fan of this opening. Oh no, there's no way he gets that down. And good block. Great block. Needed to try to double back to build the hatchery, but now he's sending a drone to the left. No. If Clem just moves straight to the hatchery location, he can block it. Oh, this is a disaster. REYNOR's opening looking very rough right now. He's already playing a slow third. Now he loses 2 drones and has his third massively delayed. Dude, if REYNOR gets blocked again, that's a terrible situation. But Clem's too weak to run the gauntlet there. Third hatchery is going to go down at 330. Oh, Clem is so far ahead. His third command center is done as the third hatchery begins. REYNOR has to go second gas and double evo chamber. Best play here. Oh, no. Hellion Reaper coming in as well. Oh my god. Oh, okay, evo chamber does go down. Oh, okay. Man, this was reminding me of that other series I casted them the other day from the previous Weekly's Cup, but this time, REYNOR is not messing up with his drones as badly. He's only losing a few workers so far. Pretty good defense. Great spore tricks. Really, really crisp spore tricks. Only losing 2 drones in mining time. Could have been a lot worse. Gets rid of a few of those early Hellions and Reapers. Of course, Clem looking for some more shots, but that is dangerous. Liberator on the way as well. At least REYNOR's Zergling's got some value there. Got an extra queen building, so he's going to go up to 6 queens. And he is spending all of his money decently, but REYNOR desperately needs a few more overlords. There we go. They are beginning. Third orbital is up. We should see mules dropping on that natural. Indeed, they are. 2 gases so far. Stim starts up. Extra Hellions still producing. And expect a double barracks. Reactor. So barracks here. Barracks on that reactor. As he gets 150 minerals, this one goes down. Beautifully timed. Crisp build order for Clem. He's... I was going to say not missing any SCV production. As I say, he misses 1. But not the end of the world. As his Hellions are active, Liberator goes around the left side. Don't think REYNOR's seen that just yet. REYNOR has a hole in his vision on that bottom left side. And any hole will be taken advantage of by the Liberator, a unit that looks to catch you off guard. REYNOR does not seem to realize it's there. He has gone that double evo chamber that I was talking about, but it's not super duper fast. And 1 drone goes down. Queens are going to move to try and remove the Liberator. And as the Liberator unsieges, he tries to resiege in the same spot. 2 queens, no match for the Liberator, but he might be able to get it from this side. Maybe? I don't think so. I think he needs to wait for the Spore Crawler. This is a bummer for REYNOR. He's going to try and fight it, but there's no way that works. He was kind of hoping that Clem would panic and run the Liberator away, but instead he sacrifices a queen. Does get a lot of damage on the Lib, so the Lib at least should try to just get home now, but it's probably trapped. And there we go. Does go down. Hellions not really falling, just those 2 early Hellions have gone down. Clem's got his 3 barracks, his double engineering bay upgrades going, 4th and 5th barracks on the way. About as smooth as you could possibly hope for on the map that you're favored on. 1-1 not too far behind for REYNOR, but of course, even though his worker count's okay, he's got a 4th on the way. He does need the lair and the baneling nest in the near future, if assuming he's playing a standard style. Lair, baneling nest, second gas all go down. Let me know your favorite American food, ladies and gentlemen. I know some people make fun of American food. For me, I think my favorite is going to a lot of restaurants and ordering an entree. Though I guess you guys get entree confused. Americans use the word entree opposite. I don't know how that started, but basically you get an appetizer is what you guys call it. And it's enough to feed 3 people. That's always my favorite. It's wild. It's wild. I every time I go to America, I end up just with like a hotel fridge filled with like way too many leftovers, and I'm like, when am I even gonna eat this? Or I just have to make sure I never order a full meal at most places I go to because it's just ridiculous. That being said, looking forward to it. I'm not afraid to, you know, go to the Cheesecake Factory and get an entire slice to myself, enough calories to feed a family for a week. That's the last time I gained a lot of weight, was basically doing that. Marines coming in, getting some overlords, nice pressure. Linger by does get a few SCVs, and he actually gets the Marines. Good pullback for Clem, but he's still going to lose a bunch of Marines. This is a really good trade. REYNOR, fantastic play. I love it. Banelings, if they can get rid of the Hellbats, that'd be great, but look at that reactive spread from Clem. Really nicely done. Second factory has that tech lab on the way. No 4th command center just yet. +2 attack starts for the bio. I'm expecting that 4th command center any moment now. There we go. It ended up being a total of 7 workers that went down on Clem's side, but I think in the overall units lost tab, I mean, pretty even is good for REYNOR. REYNOR's only up 6 workers. He's building 11 more workers. So this next minute or two, Clem is going to have a massive army advantage. If he can get some really good trades, he can kind of keep REYNOR at such an army disadvantage that it makes up for the fact that REYNOR has a big worker lead. REYNOR up 17 workers right now, but on the defensive, does have a 5th base up in the center. Baneling speed finally done. Overlord speed, +1 range coming in rather than +2 melee. Looks like he's going to go for a very Hydralisk focus style. Hydra Den does finish. I'm not sure where that is, behind the natural, I guess. Ling set off and defuse a few of those Widow Mines, but ooh, Widow Mine still gets a decent hit. Nice hot pickup for Clem. 3 Widow Mines and Drilling Claws building at a time. 2-2 is on the way. Only thing he's missing is that vehicle plating to make his Widow Mines and Medevacs a little tankier. Nice hot pickup for Clem. REYNOR's doing a good job of center creep control, but he's got to try to get that creep up that right side to that watchtower. If you can get that, it really helps you out. But if the Terran always has that high ground on the right flank, it's difficult to stabilize. Some people saying Philly cheesesteak is the GOAT. I don't know if I've ever had one. I feel like maybe I have, and it was okay. Maybe I need to have, like, the best one. Ooh, a couple Banelings do go down. Marine Mine moving to the right side. That was a pretty good hold so far, but REYNOR's a bit low on Banelings. He's got to be a little careful. He doesn't have any reserves. Beautiful defuse with those Zerglings. Queen's pushing him back. He's got to try to push him all the way back and get creep tumors on that high ground, though. I'd like to see REYNOR be super assertive on this. His Widow Mines peppered through the middle, occupying a lot of REYNOR's APM. He's got 11 Hydras on the way, both Hydra upgrades queued up, and the quad drop going into the main. That's a nice move. It's about 20 Marines going into the main. It's not a crazy count, but it is enough to force a big response. Spore Crawler and Hydra there. Going to chip away at this, but not having a Spore Crawler further forward because he only just got the creep up does cost REYNOR. REYNOR needs to roll Banelings to clear this army. He's going to have to roll a lot of Banelings forward, but that, of course, presents his army for those Widow Mine splashies. Good pullback to buy time. Unfortunately, in the main base, he loses his spawning pool. Oh, Clem with a clutch engage, but he doesn't pick up, loses all of his Marines, or most of them, only saves 8 of them to those Banelings. Oh, and the Banelings hitting on the front as well. Clem getting a little bit ahead of himself. Overcommitting. The Queens are going to come around. He's got a bit of creep respreading on the right. He's going to try and respread creep in the middle. He does need enough numbers to do that, though, and the army is dangerously low for REYNOR. Because he can't build Zerglings, he's building nothing but Hydra Queen right now with a few leftover Banelings from the early stages. Big army in the main base defending what is just an 8 Marine drop. REYNOR needs to stay calm, and he needs to split his units. Leave a few units in the main and send everything else to the front. But REYNOR panics. He sends his whole army forward. He thinks the drop is gone because he saw 3 Medevacs leave, which means this Medevac is going to catch him unprepared in the back of the natural. Let's see how quickly REYNOR responds. Clem distracting on the front. quick Hydra rally, but Hydras and drones kind of derping in there and getting taken out. REYNOR having to deal with Biomine encroaching on his territory on the front at the same time. He's got 1-1-2 upgrades against 2-2, 3-3, and Concussive is on the way. Clem's Widow Mines are causing a ruckus. We need more Overseers on this front line. Losing those Overseers is always annoying. You can't kill those Widow Mines until he gets those Overseers up here. Queen's doing a good job of tanking, but they are running out of hit points, and Medevac does die. Drone does take a Widow Mine to the face. The Queen's tanking well, but they are almost all losing their hit points and energy. He desperately needs to get up here and defend this with Mauling Bane, but he doesn't have that many units fighting right now. REYNOR finally has defended the drop in his main, and the Widow Mines just continue to fire. He's got to get rid of these Widow Mines. If REYNOR can clear this position, he's back in this game. Clem in the middle of the fight, picks up 3 Widow Mines, goes for a drop on the left side of the map. Lings do clear the rest of these Widow Mines. Great engagement for REYNOR, but Clem holds the middle. Widow Mine drop snaking its way around that left watchtower. REYNOR may have realized, he may not. It's going to be hard to be ready for that. He's got a few spines there, but not a lot of anti-air. Infestation Pit almost finished. REYNOR pinned back 90 workers against ADS CVs. Clem is trading very nicely. Overseer drags the Widow Mine onto the friendly fire. Beautiful Overseer, but REYNOR needs to build more. He does immediately rebuild another Overseer. Spinecrawlers actually take out one of these Widow Mines before it can fire. Unfortunately, the other Widow Mines do get 8 drones. Not too bad. Could have been worse. REYNOR immediately pops 3 drones back up. He's a little bit lava-starved as we speak, though, so he's got to keep those injects going. Lurker Den and Hive start. I think he's doing a good job of keeping Clem back. That being said, Clem's on 5 base. He's got a 6th command center building. Ghost coming in. 3-3's almost finished. Clem still is in charge of this game. He's still got the army supply advantage. He's still got the momentum. And these Widow Mines in the middle doing a good job of delaying REYNOR from reasserting map control. 22 Hydras might be too many. They do almost have 2-2 upgrades, which is good. But of course, as the 3-3 kicks in, a double upgrade advantage for Clem means his bio will trade pretty well head-to-head against the Hydras. You need the Banelings in order to, of course, force the bio back and sort out any clumped up groups. Vehicle plating level 2's on the way. 3-3 just seconds from finishing. Clem poking in, looking to bait REYNOR into some bad fights. Good Widow Mine to start things off. Gets himself another Hydra. On the left side, looks like a double drop picks up, pulls back behind the Widow Mines. Marauders left on the front to absorb all of those Banelings. The Hydras taking a big Widow Mine hit. The Overseer goes down. There's only a few Hydras on that right side. REYNOR's going to try and get over here, but my god, these Widow Mines are a nuisance. Trying to spread units to take a few of those Widow Mines, and he does do so. Looks like he's going to defend the right side, but not before losing a bunch of those Hydras. And of course, Clem always picking the perfect moment to pull out. Meanwhile, double drop goes back in on the left side, gets a few drones. He could focus that hatchery, but Clem not watching. He's microing in the top right, trying to micro everywhere at once. He focuses the Banes down. Those Marines doing fantastically. Yes, the Ghost falls, but the Marines hold strong. Drop gets picked up on the left side into a 12 hit point medevac. Hatchery on the right side goes down. REYNOR's back to 5 base. Clem is moving a 6th command center out and building a 7th and an 8th. He's got momentum, he's got control, and REYNOR's stuck in the naughty corner on a map that favors Terran. It's not a good position. Widow Mine smears his Zerglings. Hydras come forward and take out some medevacs. I like that ambush. Punishing Clem for being so cavalier, so far forward in the Zerg side of the map. Hydralings moving out. Ooh, okay. We've got the Bio Ghost Marauder trying to move south right now. +2 vehicle plating is on the way. The Hydraling trying to fall back. Lurkers and range upgrade are coming. No Nidus Worm just yet. Remember, REYNOR is broke. Clem's the one with a bit more money to work with. Lings are going to try and drag those Widow Mines, but Clem with a very quick unburrow. Snipes on the Overseer. Very nice. Hydras kind of isolated there without much Baneling support, but look at this. That's a nice, juicy 8 Lurker timing attack. REYNOR had a terrible start to this game, but he's showing that ability to crawl back into the game, handling the multi-prong very well, getting Lurkers out, and getting rid of this factory, these depots, is always such a big win. It really puts the Terran in a hard spot positionally, and he's actually reinforcing. My god, he's coming in with like 13 Lurkers. That's a big army. If he can make enough Banelings on the front, he might be able to take this planetary out at the same time. Unfortunately, he does let an orbital go up in the top right. Wise choice for Clem to make that an orbital, so he can just drop mules and lift that up whenever he needs to. REYNOR does see it with his changelings in the top right, by the way. You can see his vision. He sees it on the minimap. Lurker's starting to get sniped. REYNOR, Adaptive Talons on the way. He's got his first Infestor building. I don't think he has Burrow. No, he does not. He also doesn't have the money to squeeze in +3 Carapace. He hasn't found that money yet, that time. Ghost coming forward. They snipe a few of these Lurkers hanging out here a bit too long. REYNOR presenting some easy targets to Clem. I mean, the Lurkers are being annoying, but you don't want to be losing them for this. Being annoying is not worth losing them all. Good spready on the Zerglings. Lurkers trying to shove in range of the planetary. REYNOR does not have a lot of support for these Lurkers. I think he might be better off spreading creep, backing off, and chilling for a minute. That being said, he feels like there's no answer to the Lurkers. He's like, nope, there's not enough Ghost energy. I can do this. That, of course, remains to be seen. Orbital on the left goes down. Massive mistake. Massive mistake for Clem. Doesn't lift that. Lings and Lurker find the base on the right side. Lurker's sieging this planetary. Clem does just not have that many ghosts. No libs, no tanks. He's got 14 ghosts, but I guess they don't have that much energy. The Lurkers are doing fantastic damage. This army's coming down. These Lurkers sieging this base as well. It's taking a lot. He's going to try and bust through here. The Lurkers all shooting the planetary, so they do get caught out, and those 4 Lurkers go down. On the left, though, Lurkers are up on the rally. Those ghosts get one shot. 2 of them go down. 1 escapes. There is an Overseer on that side. Lurkers on the right. I'd like to see him move them all in range of that planetary, but REYNOR overcommitting with unprotected Lurkers does lose those boys. Lurker on the right side forces the lift. There's still not that much ghost energy, despite there being a massive ghosts. They are still trying to snipe, but it's hard with those Lurkers attacking. The Lurkers are still attacking the planetary for the most part, but they're getting decent splash. Oh my god, Clem didn't have a scan! Oh my gosh, losing all of his orbitals is a bummer. He also didn't have money to repair for a second, so he almost loses the planetary. Lings are in on the production. REYNOR running rampant. We used to talk about how Clem was the momentum master, but he had a weak spot right when Lurkers came out, and it looks like that is rearing its ugly head once again. Serral showed there was a big spot of damage where you could, a period where you could do damage to Clem in Katowice if you get those Lurkers in his backdoor, but REYNOR's simply attacking the front from 3 sides. Ling run by on the left, Baneling Hydra taking out the planetary in the middle, Lurkers still sieging this planetary on the right, and I mean, yeah, you had a good command center count, not anymore. 1 planetary, 5 orbitals, 1 new command center. Clem has not got the money to rebuild. He doesn't have enough energy or scans or snipe energy to take out all the Lurkers. Finally he does, but not before taking a ton of damage. And of course, REYNOR's back in the middle once again. Widowmine's doing a bit of friendly fire to the SCVs while they do take out some Zerglings. Hydra's damaging that command center and keeping him off the effective mining. Clem sneaks a Widowmine drop out, trying to pull REYNOR's attention away from the front. Those front Lurkers do get sniped as well. Burrow's on the way. There is 1 Infester there, a cheeky bugger, looking to catch Clem if he ever does move out for the counterattack. If you come in with a Lurker ass like this, you really want to focus fire the SCVs. You can see he's targeted that SCV there. He's trying to hit the mineral line, but Clem cleans it up very quickly. Clem on the supply is looking pretty dead. REYNOR's got 3-3 on the way. He doesn't have adrenal glands. It's been a pretty hectic game, but the Lurkers are doing an amazing job. Trying to just stim on it with Marine Ghost. Clem does damage. No, he doesn't even damage a single unit. All he does is force the Lurkers back. Sorry, he did take out 1 Lurker. Correction. 3 drones do go down. Bit of mining time, not the end of the world for REYNOR. REYNOR's got him pinned on a very low amount of bases. Infestors deep in his territory. Scan there, not seeing any army on the right. Lurkers poking in the left. They poke out, they poke in, they poke out. REYNOR being a big nuisance. He's got the big army on the front as well. Lots of Ling Bane. First Lurker does get sniped. Lurkers on the left doing great damage. Clem needs to lift that command center up. Massive pop-up out of the ground. Fungals the ghosts. And you can see him focusing down a lot of those units. Clem somehow saves some of the ghosts with a hot pickup. But I think it's too little too late. REYNOR has the numbers, and off 74 workers, he did not let go once he got control of the momentum. Clem had a good start, denying that 3rd base, getting 2 drones. I definitely thought this should have been REYNOR's game, but as we see, easier said, sorry, it should have been Clem's game, or at least his advantage going into the mid-game, and it definitely was his advantage, but just not having an answer to those Lurkers. And this is one of these things where Clem's style is very good, but because he's lacking tanks, he doesn't have the easiest response to the Lurkers. Whereas if you just have like a tank sitting outside of range of those Lurkers, it just shells them. It has 13 range versus 10. It can slowly deal with them, whereas the ghosts need a bit more time to gather that energy, which is why, you know, they can catch you. You have to always cast snipe manually every time the Lurkers are hitting you. You have to use scans everywhere. It can get a little bit hard. Ghost Bio trying to reestablish control of the center. REYNOR, of course, not letting him have it. REYNOR's actually not maxed right now, but I think he realizes just how starving for cash Clem is. Planetary in the back is still solid. That's the one point you probably don't want to attack as REYNOR. Widowmine on the right gets cleaned up. 19 drones on that base, 5th base fully saturated. REYNOR should probably take a 6th hatchery, but he's still got very good mineral income at 2,400 minerals a minute. Effectively 3 bases of mining. And he is going to send a drone up to the top right and 1 to the bottom left. Lurkers coming forward, looking great. Ghost trying to pull back here. The Lurker's behind, causing a ruckus. Ling's running on top. That's going to be that man. Look at those Lurkers. He doesn't have scans for it. The Lingbane Lurker Hydra jumps on top. And REYNOR manages to clean house. He's even got a Lurker up top harassing that planetary. Clem loses control despite a good start on his map pick. A great start to the series for REYNOR. Alright, well that was an unfortunate one for Clem. Gives up his map from a lead. But that is just some real tenacity from REYNOR. The way REYNOR hung on was very impressive. When his spawning pool went down, I thought we were looking at a slippery slope. Thought we were going to see REYNOR kind of fall down that slope, but he managed to stabilize and hang on. And now on equilibrium, his map pick, Hatch Gas Pool, does go down. Clem, of course, using vetoes to take out Radhuset, no doubt. REYNOR, no doubt, taking out Hecate. Not sure exactly what their second veto for each player would be. Could be like Sight Delta, something Zergs don't like to play. Terran don't really like to play like Golden Aura that much. Obviously, Radhuset and Equilibrium would probably be the ones. But I think it's because in the finals, you veto one map, then you both get to pick a map. Which is why they both got to pick Hard Lead and Equilibrium. Otherwise, they definitely make it into their top 2 vetoes. Alright, SCV is going to build that depot. Standard opening so far for Clem. REYNOR, is he going to pull off gas here? The natural's finishing. If he wants to pull off gas, he needs to do it about now. We'll keep an eye on it. Hatchery does finish. And there we go. He's going to pull 2 workers off gas. So it looks like a pretty standard clash opening. Guess we can call it the Basilisk opening now. I don't know. Third hatchery on usually about 27 supply. And that's indeed what he's saving up for. Hatchery into Overlord into drone. Great way to play. Clem not able to block the third base this time. So REYNOR having a smoother opening. But of course, Clem's Reaper will have something to say about that. It's always hungry for that first creep tumor snipe. He doesn't want to take too much damage with the Reaper because then it's hard to delay the creep tumor. So if you do see someone getting overcommitted with their Reaper, get it deep in the red, just remember that's awesome because then you can immediately put the creep tumor down as the Zerg. But that's healthy enough. You can't put a tumor down with only one queen guarding it. He does get another hit off though. And REYNOR feels like he can get it. Oh, and he protects the Zerglings. Great move. Great move. Exactly what we were talking about there. If that Reaper takes a bit too much damage, not as able to punish the creep tumor. Third command center goes down behind this for Clem. So we are going to see Starport. And then the second gas a little bit later. There we go. Most likely a Banshee opening with that second gas going down right after the Starport, I would guess. Chat has a very good point. We actually see Hard Lead in best of 3s a lot these days, so I wouldn't be surprised if Oceanborn gets vetoed more in ZvTs, says Booyah. That's actually true. It used to always be Hard Lead, and there was a shift where the Zergs started getting rid of Oceanborn. Because I remember I was like, man, Oceanborn seems like a way nastier map than Hard Lead for the first few months of the map pool. But all the pros were like, dude, Hard Lead is a nightmare with all those ramps and rocks everywhere and all these like different ledges they can attack from. But over time, they've kind of moved into disliking the Oceanborn. I think the middle high ground areas with those choke points and the sight blockers is just as nasty, and Zerg does not want any of that. Does the Banshee threaten Zerg enough if there are no Hydras? There's never Hydras at the time when the early harassment Banshee comes out. You'll very rarely see Banshees as part of the regular army composition later on. It's more of just an opening harassment unit that can deflect any sort of attack that doesn't bring queens with it, which is, you got to really commit hard if you want to bring queens across that map because they're so slow off creep. So it's more of a defensive plus light harassment unit. Forces Spore Crawlers, forces Overseers, potentially picks off a few drones, and it keeps you safe against anything that doesn't involve queens. Good point from Twitch chat. One of the reasons Oceanborn got so bad is there's only one option for a third base. And the Terrans really like to block that third base with the SCV. And because the other third base is so much worse, it really is not a good option to take. The Zergs do not like having that third base denied for so long. Well, Rain is going to go Lair, 4th Hatchery. Oh me, oh my. The Lair's great just for blocking the cloaked Banshees. So he's kind of either assuming the Banshees are coming or maybe he spotted it. He's also building Spore Crawlers. And he does see Cloak on the way, extra barracks building. He knows this is a very standard Hellion into Banshee play. 6 Hellions on the map before those barracks swap over onto the reactors. Banshee gets itself 1 worker, make it 2, takes a few hits and does back off. Hellions on the south denying the creep spread. Now as Clem, you'd like to kill drones, but even more important is making sure it's dangerous for REYNOR to transfer drones to that gold base. You guys are confused? Yep, the weekly cup 2 weeks in a row has been Clem versus REYNOR. So it's been an interesting thing to see those two clashing repeatedly. Max and Hero fighting a lot in the North American region finals. The last one, Clem won. I think he won 3-1 in that match. He's definitely got a winning record versus Reynor recently. Reynor, of course, is, I think, in a rebuilding period right now after his performance at Katowice he wasn't that happy with. Said he's going to be practicing 3 hours a day. But he does line up those drones. That Evo chamber just barely didn't get down. And this is some good damage for Clem. He gets 11 drones. Looks like it'll be at least 13. Make it 14 workers before that goes down. And with every queen out of position, Banshees add 2 more drones on top. So very splendid damage. Clem is up 7 workers right now. That's a great start on a map that's not meant to favor him. But keep in mind, this map's actually great for Clem in the late game. He's shown that he just cannot get overwhelmed. No matter how much advantage guys like Solar got on him, they could not finish him off on this map. And Reynor's trying to go Mutalisks, which is actually kind of a greedy play. It's very good on Equilibrium. It's good on Radhuset. It's okay on Golden Aura, those bigger maps. But I fear that he's going to be popping his first Mutalisks. There's already going to be Bio, Medevac, Mine, with Stim and Shields and 1-1 knocking on the door. And I don't know if he's going to have enough Ling Bane to defend that if he commits to, say, 10 Mutalisks immediately. How often do you see the Hellions attack the friendly unit to kill the creep tumor? Pretty common at the pro level. Below pro level, pretty rare. They like to use the Reaper because the Reaper regenerates as well. Whereas the Hellions would have to go all the way home to repair, which loses them a lot of time. So you normally only use it if you just barely missed out on sniping a tumor. Speaking of sniping tumors, Clem takes out a bunch of these. The Queens do push him back though, and he's got a 4 back for now. 4th command center at 720, 5 barracks, 4 reactors pumping. Does he have an armory? Yes, he does. So he can start 2-2 immediately. Doesn't have the gas for it right now, but he could start at least +2 attack. Muta's building. It's just Mass, Zergling, and Mutalisks. He's got 11 queens as well, which is a pretty insane queen count. When you're playing Mutalisks, if you can skimp on the queens a little bit, that's actually very nice. Because you want to play a more mobile style. Having that slow anchor of queens, it's still useful, but I'd say not as important as when you're playing a more standard Ling Bane or Ling Bane into Hydra. Double drop in the north picks up. Baneling speed's almost done, but there's no Banelings morphing. Oh god. Reynor, careful mate. He hasn't made any Banelings yet. His queens are in the open. He's got to pull these guys back. Or these girls, I should say. He's using all of his transfuses. The queens can't fight this on their own. The drop. Oh my god, he gets behind the minerals and kills all of the Zerglings. Oh no. Oh, this is a disaster. This is like, I feel like that same position got Reynor last time they played last week. That position on the north giving him a lot of trouble and just being a bit too late on his Banelings. I mean, it was 8 minutes. You have to have Banelings ready. And this is what I was fearing, is you commit to those Mutalisks. You don't have enough Ling Bane to defend the first wave. Reynor needed to adapt his build, commit to a little bit more Ling Bane, and delay those first Mutalisks. Or maybe just commit to 7 or 8. But he built 17 Mutalisks. +4. 21 Mutalisks by the 8.5 minute mark. So that's where all of his money was going. GG, nice win for Clem. Alright, guys. Nice comeback there for Clem. And now going on to Oceanborn. A surprising choice. What is Reynor doing, leaving Hard Lead and Oceanborn in the map? He got rid of Hecate and Sight Delta, I guess. Hecate is always the first veto, because it's just covered in choke points and ramps. But Sight Delta, a map which they normally leave in. Interesting to see. I mean, Reynor won Hard Lead, so I can understand him leaving that, but Oceanborn is a tough map. I personally feel like this map's harder than Sight Delta. But Reynor's, I don't know. I think maybe he fears getting spread out on Sight Delta because the bases are spread so far. He wants a more compact base layout, and he's okay with the fact that it's a shorter rush distance. Whereas on Sight Delta, he figures he'll probably get spread so thin that Clem will just be multitasking and dropping everywhere, and I guess he wants to avoid Clem doing all those multi-drops and just trying to out-multitask him. This is the Heart of the Swarm intro cinematic song, right, guys? The Banshees or the Vikings or whatever shooting at the Leviathan, the pods coming down, siege tank retreating as the Ultralist chases it and steps on it, Viking landing in the midst of it, tank sieging up in the square for the last stand and firing on the Massa Zerg. I think this map's not bad for siege tanks, so who knows, maybe the song lining up with Clem's strategy. I doubt it. I think he's a Widowmine master right now, but we'll see what happens. Blocking this third base, this is what Blia was mentioning in the chat. Going 15-15, you don't care as much about getting your third out super fast, but this is still going to be frustrating if it gets delayed as much as map 1. On the other hand, with this build, you do get these injects out so early. You can flood this base full of drones. Already has an extra overlord building, and as the lava injects come out, watch these drones. Bam. So he's already going up to 35 workers against a 24 SCV Terran player. Cyclones on the way. Oh, hello. I don't think it's mech necessarily. Probably just a couple cyclones for a bit of light pressure. Mech is not Clem's forte. Roach Warren going down as well as a lair. No Ling speed. He's planning one of these 2-base Roach pushes. Ooh. Reynor taking a bit of a strategy from Cyril's book. Reaper goes in. Reaper turns around. You do need to try to push out to threaten that you're taking the third base. Clem not seeing that. Going for a second barracks. I do wonder if he swaps around and gets a siege tank at some point. Or if he's like, no, I just need stim. Got 100 gas in a moment. And stim should be starting. There we go. Nicely done. First 2 roaches building off just 37. 3 roaches, sorry, off just 37 drones. But more work is being built. There is a third base down, which of course introduces a little bit of, oh, is he going to drone? Is he not? Overlords have seen this coming. Got to position that correctly in the middle of that pillar. There we go. Does fix that up. Reaper into the main base. Queen will deflect. He sees that the lair is on the way. He sees drones coming out rather than roaches. Queen and roach at the front. You're going to need ravagers to deal with these cyclones. Just a few slow roaches are not ideal against cyclones. Reaper does go down. You really want speedlings to surround this sort of pressure. But he's going to have to rely on ravagers as Reynor as one queen falls. Oh, and he's got to land hits on the cyclones. The Hellions are not important. He's got to focus fire the cyclones, but he already killed a Hellion. And this is great trading for Clem. He's going to pick off an Overlord on the way out as well. Oh no, he changes targets to the Ravager. Oh, he gets another Ravager. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he going to kill him with 2 Cyclones and a few Hellions rallying in? Clem is getting a massive lead right now. There's no roach speed started. Reynor didn't have the gas because he's spending all of his gas on Ravagers, which means he doesn't even have a counterattack timing. And behind this, it's 3 SCVs at a time. Stim, Starport, Barracks trying to pump Marines. There is a bit of a supply block for Clem. I think he was expecting to lose a few more units there. It's a bad spot to be in for Reynor. 49 drones stuck on the defensive does not feel good. You usually want to get over here, pick off the depots. Clem's playing safe, though. He does build a few bunkers. Good to see him showing Reynor some respect. With the siege tank starting up as well. He's looking well set to defend. Mass SCV repair on the Cyclones. Aliens finding some creep. Not bad. You're going to dive. Bit of a dangerous move. Evo Chamber block gets it. Roach Ravager was not on a move, though. A little bit sloppy there from Reynor. Drones stacking up a little bit. And Clem finding more workers. Nicely done. 3 drones for those Hellions. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of damage, but he also gets to see that, hey, you were building drones for your third base, so I can move out to take my third. I can sell one of my bunkers. I'll just keep one in reserve. I think this is a great awareness by Clem. Needs to find the money for 1-1 upgrades. He's a little gas-starved, having built the tanks, the medevacs, stim, shield so early. His engineering base sitting idle is the one weakness of his build. Reynor, on the other hand, he's droning and building roaches and going double Evo Chamber. He's doing a little bit of everything. No sharp edges for Reynor's build. He's going to try and scare Clem with a bit of a poke forward. Clem starts 1-1 upgrades. Roach Ravager coming in. Doesn't quite finish the bunker. Takes a big tank shot on those front-running roaches. I like the pullback on the weak roaches. He does want to poke here. And disrupting the mining a little bit. Clem, though, quick micro. Very quick micro for Clem. The bunker just barely surviving. Medevac's going to get rid of this Overlord. As you deny Reynor's vision, it becomes much more dangerous to poke in and out. 1-1's on the way, Infestation Pit. Reynor has showed a preponderance towards like Roach into fast Lurker recently. It's not a bad style. Takes out a couple Marines, pushes Clem back. Clem is up on 5 barracks. He just needs to get these extra reactors here and stabilize in this mid-game as the second factory goes down. Tanks are going to be the name of the game, being forced into that because Reynor is so Roach Ravager focused. Reynor's 4th base has started up, but with it only just starting, he doesn't really have the ability to drone very hard. A few Spore Crawlers going down to try and limit drops since he has very little anti-air. 3 Infestors are on the way and a Hive starting. It's a good play, Roach Infestor. It's a good comeback style, but Clem's macro machine is roaring. His 4th command center started. He's sending drops of Marines out. You gotta be careful. If you burn your first fungals on these drops and you don't actually kill a lot of the Marines, it reveals your hand, and it just tells Clem exactly what he needs to do in this game. Alright, only losing one Marine. Well done. Double drop moves out the left side. Dropping on that right side. Link speed's on the way. Burrow, 1-1 range. Armory finally coming in for Clem. And it's going to not delay his 2-2 too far. He's also already got 8 barracks. What the hell? His production is soaring. Oh, Clem is in such a better position than Reynor right now, guys. Reynor doesn't even have his Lurker Viper Tech up yet. And it just feels like already Clem's in such a good spot. Now, this could be nice. He's going to try and fungal him. Oh, very nice. He's got to chain it. Nice chaining. Does try to catch all of those Marines, and he does so. Gets all of the Marines. Nicely done. Well worth. Widowmine dropping the south takes out 5 workers. We're going to need to see Reynor put his Spore Crawlers further forward here, rather than in the main base. More important to cut off this edge of the map so drops can't get past. Otherwise, Clem will continue to abuse that angle. Clem thinking about a 4th base right now. That's moving out. Double tech lab, so he's got double siege tanks. Look at the tank positioning. Super safe. Very, very turtled up. Doesn't want to give any opportunities to get surprised, and those tanks are the counter to lurkers. So he's not going to have that lurker weak spot that he had in the last game. Don't we build roaches, Marauders versus roaches anymore? We used to do that. Clem didn't feel like he was under enough threat that he needed to, and he's just gone for the standard 3 more tech labs, and he'll build Marauders and Ghosts now, only after the 8 barracks are up. Just a bit more streamlined of a build to spend the gas getting up the double factory, the Ghost Academy, and sniping that 5th base. Reynor does not have any mobile anti-air. He's still got no spores on this edge. Like I said, big oversight for him. That is the most important area. Because otherwise, he could drop here. He can go around this spore into the back of your main. That's the one area where you can actually cut off the rotation and do tons of damage to those medevacs. Just going to drop on top of the Spore Crawler and try to take it down. Good focus fire by Clem. Gets a Hydralisk as well. Oh, Reynor's in trouble right now. Just losing a few small units here and there. You got to realize he doesn't have a late game plan. The fact that Clem has him pinned on 4 bases is terrible. Because he's not got, he's got link speed, but he doesn't have melee upgrades. He's only now getting Adaptive Talons. He's kind of just stuck on lurkers, and Reynor can drag this game out. But he's up against the Terran who's building 2 more command centers, Ghosts, 2 tanks. It's an amazing position to be in for Clem. Scan on the top right. Bio's going to move in. And it's really, at this point, how does Reynor solve the issue of Clem's position? And the answer is good fungal ambushes to start. Nice. He gets a few of the Marines. Oh, quite a few. That's awesome. Well done. Kills a bunch of those Marines. Not bad. He's getting some good trades. But on 4 bases only, he'd love to have that 5th base gas. Notice his gas is very low. And there's 10 tanks, 4 ghosts building at a time, even a Viking being built to deal with the Nidus Worm. Clem has so little pressure on him that things like Nidus Worm are unlikely to achieve anything. Baneling Tech does start up for Reynor. He'll have to start melee and +3 carapace now to catch up on those upgrades. That being said, 2-2's only just finished for Clem. Remember, Clem delayed his early upgrades a lot, so it's not like he's got an upgrade lead just yet. Oh, he's going to go +3 range. That is an odd choice for Reynor. I think +3 range is a big investment. And we're kind of getting to the point where, yes, lurkers are good, but I think by the time that upgrade finishes, we're probably going to have traded most of our lurkers out for Lingbane Hydra. Nidus goes in on the left. You see those turrets cutting off that Overseer from getting in the back. Very well prepared for Clem, who actually dives right through the middle and kills the 5th base again. No cancel. 6th base in the bottom also getting focused down. Oh, no. Reynor doesn't have a lot of mobility. He can't keep up. That hatchery gets killed as well. Now the Lurker Den getting focused. Oh, Clem is having his way with Reynor, and Reynor's got to be upset. He does not like the flow of this style. It's not very mobile. Luckily, he added the Spore Crawlers down here, which is going to be much better. Damaging the one medevac and killing the other one. Mass Command Center, that's all you need to do is Clem. You build the Iron Bank, you win this game in the long run. These roaches are dead supply the longer this game goes. Why do all these games seem the same? Well, this is the problem right now, is Reynor is not quite perfect in his play. And Clem is literally not showing any special tactics. And this is basically Clem saying, I feel so confident against you, I don't need to do anything special, which to be fair is Clem's favorite way to play. Clem is your generic, I just do the same thing every game with like very small variations in the early game, but I'm faster and better than you, and I'm going to win. That's his whole style. So don't get me wrong, it is kind of not the most exciting play from Clem in that regard, but it's also, it's on REYNOR to kind of show him, hey, this isn't working. I'm going to punish you, I'm going to get ahead, but that first 2 Cyclone Pressure gave Clem a massive advantage, and now he's like, well, it's hard to kill a Roach Lurker player with Infested Viper, but I don't need to, I can just chill. I just build planetaries, orbitals, tanks. You know I'm going to be favored in the late game, and I'm just going to get further ahead, and it's a bit of a sinking feeling for REYNOR, because he has to find a way to break a Terran that has amazing wall-offs. Roach is getting caught. Not enough damage. Even if he lands 2 fungals, he won't kill those ghosts. Roach is getting mass sniped. Oh, man. 3,000, or about 2,500 resources lost difference. 6 orbitals are up. Nidus Worm gets in the main base. Oh, that's a mistake. Changelings walked in the front. And that is going to be about 7, 8 lurkers. Oh, Snipe's coming. There's no Overseer. Oh, REYNOR forgot to bring an Overseer. I guess I say forgot, but how's he going to get an Overseer even in here? You can't bring an Overseer through the Nidus Worm. There's mass turret and a Viking. You can't get past. So Clem's just shutting down those Nidus Worms that normally give him so much trouble. Ling Ravager tried to come in, but Ling Ravager is not a late game force. There's still a lot of Roaches mixed in. Hydras, a few Infestors, Vipers, a few Lurkers. REYNOR's trying to build more drones, realizing he's got to strap in for a very long game. But Clem is miles ahead in setting up that late game infrastructure. This is basically we're watching REYNOR. He's on the side of that pit in Return of the Jedi. What is it? The pit of Snarlax or whatever the hell the thing is called. The big teeth. The big teeth hole. You guys know what I'm talking about. He's on the side of that. There's one of Clem's tentacles slowly just pulling him into that hole. And he's scrabbling at the soft sand on either side, but he kind of needs Clem to make a big mistake. He does not have a lightsaber right now. Got to find his way back into this game. The Sarlacc, apparently. Twitch chat says. That sounds right. The Great Sarlacc. Nothing like a ritual torture death sentence move. Fester's forward. He needs a lot of banelings with Speedbane to actually catch it, but look at that. And Fester gets caught. He's too entrenched. It's very unlikely you catch him with those big fungals because he's got so many turrets, and he's probably going to build a planetary and a turret there as well. Trying to take that northern base. Spire's on the way. Oof. Not the most exciting game. I apologize for this. These sometimes happen in a series, but that's exactly what we're watching. Clem is just like, hey, you know what? I used to be the guy who just YOLOs every game. I can play patient. I've added this to my repertoire. REYNOR's building Spine Spores, a Spire. Oh god, oh god. Oh, the snipes. Oh my god, he just loses a bunch of Hydras, Ravagers, and Overseers. Units lost tab is more than double the efficiency of Clem. Clem barely needs to move from his Tank Liberator line to snipe REYNOR's units. REYNOR's creep spread also sucks, despite the fact that Clem's been turtling for a long time, telling us that REYNOR does not have a lot of hope in this game, because if he was really switched on, he would have creep all across the corners of the map, right to the doorstep of Clem. But he knows he's been on the back foot. He's only got 4 queens because he opened up with a Roach style. That is a big problem. 24 ghosts right now. Scans another Infestor, takes it out. 2/2 ship weapons and Vikings being mixed in. Now he's building extra starports, guys. Obviously, one of your second and third starports should have a tech lab. And you probably should build a Raven. But it's a small map and he's got 9 orbitals. 10th one on the way. The Iron Bank is beyond complete. He is the richest man in all of Westeros. And, I don't know, man. This is looking like Tywin Lannister just sitting there in his chamber, just having a good old time, watching his vast resources and endless loans overwhelm his opponents. REYNOR really needs... What he needs is he needs a Tyrion. He needs to neural a ghost and EMP all the other ghosts and then somehow trap them with fungal and kill them all. He needs an inside man with a crossbow. Doubt it's going to happen though. Look at the way he's just venturing forward with a small force. And this is going to be emotional damage for REYNOR. Playing games like this Feels a little bit like just getting tapped in the face, in the forehead repeatedly. You know when someone like flicks you in the face? It's one of the most irritating things to ever experience. It's not painful, it's disrespectful and irritating. And Clem is wearing him down right now. Reynor has to go, but look at the way he pulls back with those ghosts, those tanks, those libs. Oh my god, that ball of ghosts is so powerful. Alright, Ghost moving forward to that right side. Infestor's moving up. 6 libs building at a time. Oh, man. He moves into scan range accidentally. Clem should notice that. Clem. Scan, scan, scan. Putting more turrets and sensor towers forward. Rain is trying to make Corruptors now. I think he's thinking about a Broodlord swap. What do we call this Infestor? Gary. Gary's hoping for a big fungal. But not, the ghosts are out of range. Oh, he does catch the front ghost, which is nice. Gary gets taken out by the tanks. The Banelings crashing forwards. Remember, these Banelings are so inefficient, though. Most of the ghosts do fall back. Units lost tab still 6,000 in favor of Clem, who's immediately going to counter push. Clem's had enough of just camping it out. He knows he's got the better force. Fungal misses. Oh, Clem, with his back and forth, actually dodges Reynor's fungal. Very nicely done. Liberator's getting taken out by the Hydras. Clem definitely taking one of the sloppiest engagements he has in this game. But Clem, he senses he's got the advantage and he doesn't care anymore. He's just like, screw it, let's win, man. I'm so far ahead. Reynor's just refusing to leave. He doesn't really have any play. Reynor desperately needs to be mining out this base, but because there's a Liberator there, he had to pull away from it. There's even a tank sieging the high ground. Hydra, Roach trying to gather their forces. Liberators and Ghosts gathering together on the high ground. Nidus Worm there at the front. Clem's just slowly choking him out. He's got one of the middle bases, and he's denying some mining on this base as well. Reynor's being vastly cost inefficient and only mining as many bases as Clem. Ooh, not too much to say other than Reynor on this map. If you fall behind on this map and the Terran commits to Mass Command Center, Planetary Turret Sensor Tower, you truly are hoping they make some big mistakes. There's just not enough room to ambush them, to create action with movement. I mean, his best bet is probably busting this bottom left side where there's not as many units, but there's still a few tanks, mines, ghosts, and libs. Abducts try to come in. He's going to be looking for anti-air spells to deal with those libs and Vikings. Needs to gather more energy for now. Second Viper and a few more Corruptors on the way. Sporkle is going to try to move forward. We've got a nuke on the right side, though. Liberator goes shoving into the defenses of Reynor. And that is a nasty one. I think that Ghost is going to land that nuke. Reynor pulls back. Over on this side, looks like those spores are getting taken out. Lurker's not in range. Vipers looking for the abducts. He's going to abduct one of the Liberators, but he doesn't have much anti-air. He needs more spores. Oh, this is sad. Viper gets picked off. The Vikings are just bullying him right now. Reynor just does not have the numbers. He doesn't have the right tools. Even in the small skirmishes, Clem is coming out on top. He's going to poke on the right side once more. Spore Crawler's there. The Lingbane, Hydra, Corruptor, Infestor trying to gather together. Spore sieging on that right side. Liberator's coming up. Hydra Ling gathering, but there's not many Banes in there. Lings can kind of get on top. They're not as weak to tanks and libs, but there's still a few mines mixed in. And look at that on the left side. Viking lib denying this mining. No middle bases for Reynor. He's not even able to mine from his 5th. Oh, that's a disaster. I think that's his 4th, actually. Oh, the Lurker's going down on the left. Reynor's just getting minced. This is absolutely brutal, mate. 12,000 resource loss advantage. It's a shooting gallery. There are points where it's worth leaving games early. I know Reynor's made epic comebacks before, but on Oceanborn, it is the long shot of all long shots. He's going to make Broodlords. He has only 6 Infestors. They are pretty well hidden. Let's see what he can do with these Broods as 3-3 kicks in for Clem. Only 1-1 flyer upgrades with 2-2 on the way for Reynor. Looking for the abduct there with the Viper. Got a Parasitic Bomb. Nice Parasitic Bomb, but look at that. Immediately loses the Viper. Viking lands to lure the Parasitic Bomb away from the rest of the Vikings. Trying to EMP, snipes the Infestor, snipes a Hydralisk. This is game, man. Reynor is just getting pummeled. He needs the most godlike engagement of all time. To be fair, Clem's getting excited and kind of shoving his ghosts around in the big pack. If an Infestor could flank from the right, 2 or 3, Chain Fungal, maybe the dream is alive. The Vikings do go a bit far forward, but look, even Snipes from the high ground takes out one of those Infestors, gets the Vikings back. Broodlord's coming forward, trying to throw those Broodlings out. Widowmines on burrow so they don't friendly fire. Nice micro by Clem. 1 or 2 ghosts do go down. Nice micro for REYNOR. Can he keep it up though? This is 9 Vikings, 22 ghosts. Oh, he's going to snipe the lurkers. And then if he can put like a ghost or 2 in that mineral line, he can kill all of those drones. Gonna nuke it. Broodlord's coming forward to punish. Watch out for the Viking snipe. Oh no! Broodlord's caught in the open. Infestors are nowhere nearby. Parasitic Bomb comes forward. The Broodlord Corruptor is getting taken out. Mass snipes landing. Fungal only landing on a single ghost in a medevac. The Ghost's cloak. The nuke does land and take out 12 drones on the left side of our screen. REYNOR too busy trying desperately to defend. But Clem, with 10,000 extra resources in the bank, cleans them out and destroys on Oceanborn. Alright guys, Clem looked so easy in that game. And now he did get ahead. He got himself a very nice position. But he just looks so calm and collected there on Oceanborn. He is going to go to Solaris, though, a map where even if he gets an advantage, it's not going to be as easy to turtle up. Oceanborn turns into just a series of ramps and choke points, and REYNOR, he couldn't find any way in. And that's no shame on him. He also, because he was starting with a roach style, he naturally had less mobility. You really need a bit of momentum to break a Terran that's trying to turtle up on that map. So anyone who's like, oh, REYNOR's so bad, why didn't he just do this or that? It's super awkward transitioning off that roach style, man. And those first 2 Cyclones just completely caught him off guard, and a little bit of a build counter. If you don't go for Ling Speed, which, you know, we said, hey, you really want to go Speedlings to defend this, but if you haven't started Ling Speed, you can't see 2 Cyclones arrive at your base and be like, let's start Ling Speed, it'll be ready in 80 seconds. That's way too long. So you need to have already gone Ling Speed, or you just need to be a little bit quicker to pull all your Queens to the front, get a few Ravagers morphed, and focus the Cyclones down. REYNOR was just fractions of seconds too slow on that reaction, and Clem does not let you get away with that sort of thing. Not very easily at all. Apologies, I was feeling a bit lightheaded at the end of the last game, but I've opened my room, I've got some fresh air here, and feeling a lot better now, so. I didn't realize that last game would go for so long, and I was like, oh my god! I was thinking, like, do I pause the game and go open my door and get some fresh air? But I was like, I don't want to interrupt the cast, but you could also hear me both not having much to say, because Clem was miles ahead, and of course, feeling a little bit off. But thanks so much for hanging out, and you know, I really appreciate everyone being patient. I have had a lot of trips over the last few months at the start of this year, and when I get back from this American trip, I can't wait to be pumping out maybe not daily videos, but as close to daily as possible on the Pigcast channel, and you know, more active on my stream, more active on my other channels as well, and just try to cover everything that I can. Obviously, I'm not going to start doing daily videos. Some people are like, please, daily video. The reason I'm not is I think quality of the games is a big thing. And whilst I definitely, if I get a bit of time, I will mix in a few more like mirror matches that are really close, just to you know, show those matchups which I normally shy away from. I don't show them as much because they do just have less people interested in them. Whenever there's like a close finals or semis of a PvP, TvT, ZvT, I'll definitely try to mix those in. And anyways, thanks for the patience, everyone. But hope you can look forward to a few months of really good content from about middle of March onwards. Oh, this Reaper's being a bit of a nuisance. He already got 1 Zergling, but he does have to leave. And this is a more standard Ling Speed opening for REYNOR. It's that 27 hatchery kind of clash opening. Hellions coming in. Ling Speed's not done. Oh god, oh god, oh god. The Reaper distraction set this up so nicely. He's already got 2 drones. He's just like, dude, 1 Queen's not enough damage for me to even care about that. He wants to stack those drones up. REYNOR spread, spread, spread. Good spread for REYNOR at the last second, but he's already heavily bruised. And dude, that is so much damage. This 2 Hellion run by. Clem has added this to his game. He mixes it in so regularly against Serral, against REYNOR, against all of the top guys. And dude, if you're late on your Ling Speed, you get punished. And this is kind of a thing where Clem plays the greediest opening ever, usually 3 command center, but this time he didn't. I believe this was a gas first, which is why there's still no 3rd command center. That's why he's diving with the Hellions, and he's actually supply blocked right now. You might be like, whoa, what a noob. Well, no, he was expecting to lose a few more Hellions here. And with this gas first build, you normally sacrifice your first 4 Hellions. He only lost 1 Hellion and 1 Reaper, so his worker production's actually grinding to a halt, as is his 2nd Banshee, specifically because he traded too well with the Hellions. So that's the, you know, the pitfalls of success. First world problems for Clem in this game. He's going to try to poke again. Oh, gets a good volley on those Lings. Those Lings, oh my god, they're a bit too clumped. All 5 Hellions going to get inside the main base. That's a disaster. There's no queen. There's not even a queen here. The drones are trying to evac. Oh, gee whiz. This is not good for Reynor. His drones are clumped up. Oh, no, 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 no. He was defending a Liberator on his 3rd base. As we talked about that, the Hellions are getting 11 workers. This is a disaster, mate. Clem is all over him, and I think he broke his spirit in that last game. It was a Banshee, not a Liberator. It's got 3 kills. Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. He's also got Cloak, guys. There is no lair and there's no Spore Crawlers. He can Cloak and catch a ton of drones. He's going to find any exposed drones out here. Reynor's trying to scamper back to the main where Spore Crawler has only just started. But this is a disaster. Clem is just... I love that he mixed up his opening. I said Clem's played a bit repetitive, plays a bit boring. Why do I need to change it up? Well, on the Zerg-friendly map Solaris, he does change it up. And that's the sign of a player who's evolving. He's not just doing the same thing every game, as much as I kind of gave him the short end of the stick by claiming that in the last map. This was a very different opening. It caught Reynor with his pants down, and I don't think Reynor paid attention to the fact that that first Reaper was late. There's a big tell. The first Reaper... Oh, he even loses a Spore Crawler that's building. If you see the first Reaper is about 3 to 4 seconds late, that's because they went gas first. Now, I'll need to check the opening to confirm this is the case, but I'm pretty sure it was gas first, even though I was talking about other things in the other game. Nice transfuse, but 29 drones to 47 SCVs. Reynor is not just down in the dumps. He is deep in the dumpster. He is dumpster diving for any scraps that he can get. And Clem right now is saying, screw you, I'm a big corporation. I will throw all of that food in the garbage rather than let a hungry person eat because it would affect our bottom line. Clem, scumbag, corporate Terran, as per usual. Reynor, the poor starving Zerg, says, more drones, please, sir. Clem's like, yeah, I'll kill more drones, idiot. Slaps him around the back of the head and says, get back in your bunk bed, you idiot. Anyways, that's my alternate fan fiction of Clem and how he plays StarCraft. You guys can let me know if you agree or not. But definitely Reynor is poor as they come. He is in a very, very bad position right now. Zerglings waiting on the right. Single Evo chamber. Back up to 47 drones. To come back in ZvT, you want to play a mass mineral style. Just 2 gases is the way to do it. You want to try and go just upgrades, Lings, Banes, focusing on a heavy Zergling count because Banelings are too expensive. But if you have an overwhelming Zergling count, you can kind of surround and do good damage. Ling run by gets deflected by the Hellions left at home. Great preparation. Clem realizes he's got the advantage and he will shove in his army with reckless abandon. The man realizes there's no need for chill. I am miles ahead. Let's just force a trade. And Reynor knows he doesn't have the numbers. He has to tap out. Clem with a fantastic build order. I promised you guys I'd look at that build order. So it should be a gas on about 30 seconds, guys. Let me check. Seen a few people do this build where they cut the SCV to do it. Notice he queues up the extra SCV, then he goes for the gas right now. He could have got that 2 seconds earlier. It's not the end of the world, though. I think it's fine. But notice that the barracks is delayed because he squeezed the gas in. So normally that Reaper pops on a minute 58. And you should be able to sense the difference here between that Reaper and this Reaper. But Clem already tilted Reynor off the face of the planet. And that Reaper might run left as well, which means the Overlord doesn't see it. Sorry, let me just go back a little bit. Is Clem just that good at his build order that Reaper's on time? Or did he change something in the build order to make sure that got out? That Reaper popped out pretty damn close to 158. That was like 2 minutes, right? Normally you expect a 4-second delay. This man only had a 2-second delay. Very tight on the build, very hard to make that read for Reynor. I said Reynor should have read it, but honestly, it pops right here. 201. It's only 3 seconds late, and honestly, a lot of Terrans either mess up the build, or because the SCV pops out off the depot on that side, it takes an extra few seconds to walk and start the barracks, which could also account for the 3-second delay. So as much as I was like, Reynor should have known, that's an incredibly narrow difference in Reaper timing that could tip off Reynor. And if we look at Reynor's vision, his Overlord moves off center, so he doesn't even see it leaving the base. Oh no! He doesn't even see the Reaper, never mind. Even if he was paying attention to such a tiny detail, Reynor wouldn't see it until it's on his side of the map. At that point, very hard to tell the difference in timing sense. And hats off to Clem for surprising him with those early Hellions. If you know this is the build, guys, you would put back on gas, you would immediately start Ling speed, and you would make sure your queens are in position at the front with some Lings behind, at the very least blocking the ramp, but trying to have a few Lings spread around the mineral line on the ramp, so as the Hellions run in, they get kind of surrounded, and even if Ling speed's not done, you can block them running in the main and kind of come at them from multiple angles, which makes it very hard for them to kill the drones. GG, well played though. Clem mixing it up nicely. I just want to show you guys the first Hellion timing. Look at that. First Hellion start at like 247. And they get across the map. I think it's like a 320, 330 run by. Look at that. 3 minutes 30. He's in there attacking drones. 329 even. That's very early. Link speed is still about 20 seconds away. 30 seconds even. Beautiful timing. Queens aren't in position either. GG, well played. Clem wins yet another EU weekly. Well done.